Sip and Listen, the podcast meant to inspire, challenge, and empower collaboration while taking actions that matter. With your host, beauty maker Christina Wartz, media princess Carrie Keller, and the lover of all things marketing, Elisa Lane.
Do you dream of having long, luxurious hair? Now that dream can be reality with the help of Christina Wartz's expertise in beaded hair extensions. Christina, owner of Haven Salon Healing in Scottsdale, wants you to feel sexy and confident again, no matter what your age. Whether you're looking for Instagram-worthy mermaid hair or you want the thickness back that you used to have, these extensions are the safest and highest quality on the market today. Christina blends them perfectly into your hair so that you can style it up, down, straight, wavy. Painless, easy, and affordable. Call to book your free consultation today with Beauty Maker Christina at 480-788-8880. That's 480-788-8880.
Ooh, is that your cell phone number?
It's my business line.
Ooh, everybody's going to be calling now. Ouch. That's our new sponsor. Whoop, whoop. So how are you, ladies?
I'm fantastic.
Yeah? Happy June, hot June. Is anyone else loving getting into their car these days?
It burns.
It is hot, yes.
I'm like, any covered parking, any garage.
Oh, she will walk 5 miles
I will
for
walk
covered parking.
5 miles
I'm like, I know.
covered parking.
I'm like, why?
It really doesn't make that big of a difference, though.
It does.
I need to do those little visor things.
Exactly.
I'm just
That's
like,
what we
it's not too time consuming. It doesn't do anything.
Exactly. I tried to tell you that.
I don't mind walking. And our guest actually today doesn't mind walking barefoot. Did you hear about this?
I didn't hear about that.
Oh, yeah. Tara, welcome to the show.
Thank you. So excited to be here.
So tell me about this walking barefoot that you love doing.
So when I was little growing up, I played in the mud all the time, right? It was just like if I could be outside and be barefoot, I was the happiest. And a couple years ago, I came across a book called Barefoot Running and discovered that it was actually a thing that you could do that was a phenomenal for your body. And in 2007, when Vibram came out with their 5-finger, the toe shoes that they're kind of semi-super weird, but also kind of cool. They make you kind of turn and look. And I had started wearing those and really felt like my knees and my hips and all of those pieces of my body went back into alignment because I was now using my natural structure again. So running barefoot, walking barefoot, hiking barefoot, not quite as much in Arizona these days, but definitely in the Pacific Northwest or in Colorado. I find that it's just a phenomenal way to, first and foremost, help those little muscles in the legs and the feet and the hips realign. And it's been scientifically proven now that when you're barefoot on the earth for 20 minutes or more, it acts as an antioxidant for the body. It's like it's grounding the radiation, the electromagnetism we're getting from the cell phones, from our computers, all of those things, back into the earth, and so it's not affecting our cells in the same way. So there's a lot of different things that create an amazing reaction in our body when we just go barefoot more. So even if it's just around the house, or if we can get outside and get barefoot outside, it's pretty cool and pretty powerful, so I love it.
So do you take 20 minutes every day to go barefoot?
I do my best for outside. Just even going out in the grass, taking my dog out to play ball. In the morning, I have a garden, and so I'll take my shoes off there, just wherever I can get it in. It's a priority and non-negotiable for me.
Wait, there's grass in Arizona? Where's that?
I was just thinking, I have to go to the park.
Yeah.
Like, I would have pebbles under my feet and like concrete.
Yeah.
I've heard a term, though. Isn't that called earthing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a whole... Have you read the book?
No, but I read articles on it years ago.
Yes. So Clint Ober wrote a book called Earthing, and he's one of the forefront men in America on earthing and reconnecting. He's got even a whole product line that you can buy. Earthing sheets, earthing mats for under your forearms while you're typing on the computer. And for me, I've always been a big skeptic. So I grew up in a household that was very organic and things like that. But still, I was like, I want to know for sure that these things are working, because we also know that lots of times we can be marketed to in a way, which I love marketing because it's a way that we get to connect, right? We get to connect. And sometimes it's not always for the purpose of the end user. So to me, I'm like, okay, show me the science. And so what's fascinating about him is he's shown the science. And I use those products personally. I have an earthing sheet, so I actually find myself so much more grounded, my nervous system relaxing when I'm going to bed. And what it is it's a sheet that plugs into your outlet into that third, you have the two and then the third one, the little hole, right? And that's actually the grounding. So that goes into the ground, so that electricity is grounded when it's running through your house. And so that's what you plug into, and then you're getting that same earth energy that you would, a similar earth energy. I still don't think it's exactly the same as laying on the earth, but similar. And then same thing when you have your arms on that mat. So all the radiation and things like that can't travel into your body in the same way. It's more like it's getting interrupted and grounded into that mat. So it's pretty fascinating technology. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
Wow.
I didn't know.
I know. So not only do you do the Barefoot, but you're also into gardening in Arizona. And you've got a farm.
Yes.
So that must be like a challenge.
It is.
During the summer months.
It totally is so fascinating, and it's such a learning process. Back in 2009, had a privilege to go out to Hawaii for 11 days on this 3-acre permaculture farm with some of the best experts in the world, and you basically like look at the ground and it grows what you want it to grow in Kauai. And so it's so different here. So my introduction to growing was much more Hawaiian based. And so here you're just up against a lot of other types of things. You're looking at not just the heat and the shade, but what kind of critters, because right now is the time before the monsoons. Everything has started to die off, and it's getting so dry that everything's looking for something to eat, and primarily they want what you've got. And I didn't even know, like ground squirrels, they come over and they climb over your fence. Like the other day I have a tower garden, and I caught one sitting in my basil eating my lettuce. And I was like, excuse me.
Did he even move when he saw you?
Oh, yes.
Oh, he did.
Good thing. Because I was very mad. I was like, oh, my gosh. It's just these things you don't think about, or not necessarily until it's happening. So it's an art, it's a science, and it's a meditative practice of patience and discovering how to create microclimates and how to create a system in the ground, because we have such dry ground and clay, but we can start mulching over it, and just learning the tips and tricks to create something magical out of what we have. And it's possible. It's just a matter of, again, the patience and the curiosity of being with the land.
I would have to move. We're not allowed to. There's so much wildlife. Where I live, we're not allowed to have gardens.
Oh, really?
Really?
Mm-hmm. Where are you at? Where do you
Anthem.
live? Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So where's the farm at, though?
It's in North Mesa. So up by Red Mountain area, Los Sendas area, the north part of the 202, you go up to Power, and it's right up there.
And are you still looking for volunteers, or is that something that...
Absolutely. So we have a site where it's specifically for women at the moment. We've built a really fun, empowering community for women. Our little tagline is connecting hearts, planting paradise, and replenishing the earth. And so it's just all around bringing women together in a sisterhood to get your hands in the dirt, learn new tips and tricks, come together, and just be able to chat, as sisters out on the land, move your body. And I find that what a lot of people are saying, and a lot of women are saying and excited about, is I just get to come and I get to move my body and I don't have to think too much. Just meaning, we have education and things like that, but just meaning day-to-day life can be so stressful and there's so many demands put on us that here you just get to come and be yourself, feel your body move, connect with the earth, and there's something magical. There's an X factor, a synergy that happens when we do that is almost beyond words. So brilliancefarms.com/Girl Garden Gang is where the information is. And it's open to anyone, and women can bring their kids, whether they're boys or girls, to just run and scream and play. And as we launch more in the fall, we'll actually have more kids' activities and things like that. So it's really inclusive for today's modern urban woman to come and be involved.
How large is the farm?
It's about an acre.
Wow.
And
are you
there's a
looking
house
to
on
grow
it.
it even further, or is it something that you're limited?
The space is limited because it's actually on a county island, so there is a house on the property, which is great. So we'll be layering multiple things on the property in terms of having energy workers there and having a little cafe and those sorts of things. But in terms of spreading out and sprawling out, we won't be able to. But we would like to replicate the model after it's fully built so that other people can do it in other communities and sort of create this for themselves, be able to bring lots and lots of abundant food and the hydroponic growing and the biodynamic farming and things like that so that we can feed more and more people.
So you mentioned energy work, which is something you do, as well as I know Christina has done some work on me, which I was fascinated by because it was actually interesting to release and let that trust come through. And then it was just like I was just like butter on the table. So what do you do? Because it's a little bit different than Reiki and other forms that people have talked about. And it was funny because when you mentioned it, I've heard of it and I've actually had it done. So what got you involved? What is it? And how does it work?
Yeah. I love what you mentioned about trust. Right, because it really is, I find, this ultimate process of trust. You find that too when you work on people. Yeah. And so it's allowing yourself to be seen, right? And we're not always
I like how you asked if she works on people, because we forget that we can actually do Reiki on animals and the energy work that actually animals can provide.
I've done
us
Reiki
too.
on Beast.
Yeah. Beast is her
loves it.
cat.
oh, she calls animals.
Goodness.
We're all wondering
She might have been
who's
talking about a
Beast.
person.
Whoa, your energy work must be really powerful. Awesome. And it's phenomenal, right? It's transformative.
Yeah, he was called Buttercup before the Reiki started.
And now his name's
There's
Beast.
something else I'm missing out on.
He's flourished.
That's amazing. Yeah, so I originally got into energy work on accident. I think like many things, sometimes these pieces choose us in a certain way. I was working with an autistic child in doing play therapy in college, and his parents ended up learning energy work, and they tried sessions on me, and I was like, holy smokes, this is the coolest thing of all time. And so I went and got certified in 2007 in a modality called Body Talk, and the principle is similar to so many others, which is it's asking the body what it wants to heal in the order it wants to heal it and allowing the body to be the guide, and I'm really the facilitator, and helping the energies reconnect, and so that the emotions, the past structures, the patterns can release. And so what will happen is we will go through our lives, we have stressors that come up, and it creates energetic patterns. It creates a frequency of vibration inside of us. And what we need to do in order to create a new reality for ourselves is be able to shift that pattern, change the cycle, because otherwise we're just living in a past pattern that has been created. It's so fascinating to me that by the time we're 8 years old, it's something like 75% of our belief systems are already formed. So most of what we believe and think and do happened way before we had any conscious idea of how to form it for ourselves. And so we come to the table and we say, okay, what are the patterns that I'm running, and what do I want to create? What are the results I want to see in my life? Now let's go into that 95% of the subconscious and the patterns and start to rewire what's happening for us so that 5% that's conscious can line up with that subconscious and create the life that we truly want to be living. It's pretty fun.
What if people don't know what they want to create? Like, is there something with that too? Like, is there... Because sometimes that's like just stagnant energy that just doesn't want to move forward.
Absolutely. And I always say, let's just start with breathing. And you don't have to know what you want to create when you start the process, right? A lot of times it's a process of uncovering and allowing ourselves to dream again, because we've been taught also so often, right? This is how life is going to be. This is how we're going to live. And because of that, we don't remember what we actually want. But we all have it coded inside of us. Our dreams, our purpose, all of those things are in us. So it's just a matter of taking off the layers like you would take off Eskimo suits in Hawaii at the beach. It's like, okay, I'm going to take this off. That's not me. And start to reconnect, move the energy in the body. Let's start with the breath, open and unlock those spaces, and then do the other processes to connect to who we truly are, our true essence again.
Do you know what's missing today, though? Like, when you think about people, and you've been working with, people and possibly animals, what do you think is missing health-wise, wellness-wise, and what do you think is, what's the difference that's actually missing? I guess that's the best way to say it.
I think the main thing that's missing is really the well-known idea that we truly are the architects of our own lives and that we actually can create whatever we want. And what's sort of hindered us from that is, I guess what's hindered us is all of the structures and things that have told us that we can't or that we have limits and that we're not actually possible, right? Okay, well, it has to be this way or like this. And so many of us had these ideas and these dreams and this flow, and then we're like, right? But if it doesn't fit in the box or I'm not good enough and all of these thoughts come up. So what's really missing is just this core fundamental concept that we're creators, we're the architects, and we can create whatever we want. And now it's just a process. So we know that now. Now what's the process of getting there and doing that?
It's funny. It's almost like we forgot to go barefoot.
So, yes. Well said.
Mm-hmm. So we had the structure of shoes that took us away from what was really meant to be.
Yes, and it's peeling back. It's that. It's like, okay, we see all these shoe commercials for the best shoes, and it's like, well,
I do like some good shoes, though.
Oh, girl. I mean,
slow down.
I do love your shoes. They're cute. Stilettos.
Wait till the ones I wear later, yeah.
For the right occasion.
Yeah.
And we're not making any of these things bad whatsoever. We're just saying, okay, what are the effects on it for the results I'm looking to get? Is it effective or ineffective?
Do you think we're growing too fast?
No, I think that maybe in some ways, some portions of the way that we're growing don't lend back to each person's creative genius. So a lot of times we're taking ourselves away from and out of the essence of the person's true genius, ability to heal themselves, create, things like that.
Do you think it's because we create in isolation when we realize we have a dream that most people can't understand, or we have parents or, guardians or, anyone in our life that's like, that's a little too much. You may want to slow down. So maybe it's just finding a community that actually can, work with it.
Absolutely.
Grow with it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit cliche, but it's so true. We are like the 5 people we spend the most time with. I mean, truly, what they think, how they act, what they eat, what they believe. It's tough to eat high vibration raw food if everybody you're with is eating McDonald's all the time. I mean, you might be able to do it for a while, but eventually you're just going to be so hungry and waiting so long, you're probably going to eat the fries. And right. And again, we're not making McDonald's wrong or anything. We're just saying, okay, look at our environment and what's the input. And if we're told something over and over again and we aren't around dreamers, or we allow the fear other people have had in pursuing their own dreams to become our own, that's where we start to fall short.
So what did you do before this? Like, how did you get started on this journey?
I did grow up in a household where it's like, oh, Mom, my stomach hurts. Okay, well, here's a homeopathic remedy or things like that. So I did grow up in the holistic and sort of natural realm. Mm-hmm. In high school, I wanted to go into PR and marketing and wanted to live in New York, which I did end up living in New York, but I worked for a nutrition school out there.
Where in New York?
Manhattan.
Right.
Yeah, it was so fun. Yeah, I was only there for like 8 months and then left and went to live in Maui for a little bit. But it was a really cool experience. And so I was working in nutrition right out of college. But my degree's in nonprofit management, mm-hmm. and that ties into the farm that we're building now. The farm is a nonprofit.
Yeah.
And so it kind of all ties together. So I guess sort of forever I've sort of just been looking for the root of joy and happiness and transformation, and that has led me to these different avenues.
Yeah. So do you coach clients on this body talk stuff that you do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see clients privately in energy medicine, and then I do 6-month and year-long coaching packages with leaders, and we dive all in that arena, which is so fun. We get into nutrition, and we get into all of the mindset and the quantum shifting and all of that, and so that you just feel so rock solid and flow. I'm really into flow, feeling that energy flow through your body and your mind, and so that everything is just synchronistic and in time. It's really fun.
Yeah. Quantum shifting, what does that mean?
So are you familiar with the quantum flip, the idea of the quantum flip?
Well, we are, but I think
familiar,
explaining it might be a good thing.
Right.
Perfect. Yes. So a quantum flip is the concept in quantum science that a particle is moving at an infinitely fast rate in one direction, and then suddenly it's moving